He took over Steve Jobs' position and has ran with it and continued to develop the company and keep it successful. Tim Cook and Apple and his 10 rules of greatness.
You look for people that are not political, people that are not bureaucrats, people that really don't care who gets credit, people that can privately celebrate the achievement but not care if their name is the one in the lights. That there are greater reasons to do things. You look for wicked smart people. You look for people who appreciate different points of view. You look for people that care enough that they have an idea at 11 at night and they want to call and talk to you about it because they're so excited about it and they want to push the idea further, and that they believe that somebody can help them push the idea another step instead of them doing everything themselves. You know, I've never met anyone, at least in my life, maybe they exist, that could do something so incredible by themselves. You know, in companies with global footprints and in our world, in Apple's world, the reason Apple is special is that we focus on hardware, software, and services, and the magic happens where those three come together. And so it's unlikely that somebody that's focused on one of those in and of themselves can come up with magic. And so you want people collaborating in such a way that you can produce these things that can't be produced otherwise. And you want people to believe in that. Steve was an original, and I don't think there's another one of those being made. And so I've never really viewed or felt the weight of trying to be Steve. It's not who I am, and it's not my goal in life, you know. I am who I am, and that I'm focused on that, and being a great CEO of Apple.
There's still things that we very much believe. The strive for perfection, for being the best, for only doing the best products, for staying focused. The fact that despite this table being so small that you and I are sitting at, you could put every Apple product on it, every single one that we ship today, and yet this year our revenues will be approximately 180 billion. There's probably no other company on the face of the earth that could say that.
I think you should rarely follow the rules. I think you should write the rules. I think if you do follow things in a formulaic manner, you will wind up at best being the same as everybody else. Maybe you miss something and you're a little worse. And if you want to excel, you can't do that. I've watched a lot of companies do that, and I think that's a rotten strategy. Maybe they'll be good for a few months or something, and so I think you need to write your own rules. We're very simple people at Apple. We focus on making the world's best product and enriching people's lives. I think some companies, maybe even the one that you mentioned, maybe they decided that they could do everything. We have to make sure at Apple that we stay true to focus, laser focus. We can only do great things a few times, only on a few products. And it's incredible every day to work with what I consider to be the smartest and most innovative people on earth. And so I spend my day working with those people on many different things, some things we didn't talk about that you wanted to talk about maybe, and many things that go with running a company of Apple's size and in all the geographies that we're in and so forth. And I love every minute of it. It's an incredible place to be. It gives me, it is my oxygen. So that's how strongly I feel about it. I don't think that you're born with a gut. I think the gut matures and gets better and better over time. And what the struggle that most people have, I think, is learning to listen to it and figuring out how to access it in some way. For me, though, what I found was that even though I'm an engineer and an analytical person at heart, the most important decisions I've made had nothing to do with any of that. They were always based on intuition. And the Apple one is a prime example of that. You know, I remember actually forming my list of pluses and minuses, and I could not get the chart to work out the way I wanted it to. Because I wanted something to say, you know, this says I should go to Apple, but it would not. Nothing financially would do that. I talked to people I trusted that knew me, and they said, this is not what you should do. It wasn't so easy, and people said, you know, you're just crazy. You're working for the top PC company in the world. How could you even think of doing this? You've lost your mind. And yet, that voice said, go west, young man, go west. And sometimes you just have to go for it. I think it is misleading to talk about success without also referencing failure. I know of no one who has achieved something significant without also, in their own lives, experiencing their share of hardship, frustration, and regret. So don't believe that something in your past prevents you from doing great work in the future. To all of you who doubt yourselves, I have been there too. And although today I've spent time talking about a great decision, I've made some that are far from it. And like many of you, I've had my share of life's personal challenges and failures. But after many miles on my journey, I've recognized that each of these difficult periods of life passes, and with each we exit stronger and wiser. The old saying, this too shall pass, has certainly proven true for me, and I'm sure it will apply to anyone who believes it. So paint in your mind the most grand vision where you want to go in life. Prepare, trust in, and execute on your intuition, and don't get distracted by life's potholes. There will be times that you fail on a spectacular basis. I've certainly done it more than once. And in some ways, I have little failures every day, right? But you have to have the faith that it will pass, that it's not detrimental. And the only thing you have to do to remember that is to look in the mirror and watch the person breathe. It didn't kill you. You're not dead. And so it's not the biggest thing in the world. It will pass. And I do that many times a day, sometimes, when things aren't going well. I remember that they will pass. And once you do that for a while, you won't have to remind yourself anymore. You will be able to take these failures, and in fact, you'll kind of view them not as failures anymore. You'll start calling them things you learned. It won't be so detrimental anymore. And that is exactly how it is for me.
Find the hope in the unexpected. Find the courage in the challenge. Find your vision on the solitary road. Don't get distracted. There are too many people who want credit without responsibility. Too many who show up for the ribbon cutting without building anything worth a damn. Be different. Leave something worthy. And always remember that you can't take it with you. You're going to have to pass it on. Use your minds and hands and your hearts to build something bigger than yourselves. Always remember, there is no idea bigger than this. As Dr. Martin Luther King said, all life is interrelated. We are all bound together into a single garment of destiny. If you keep that idea at the forefront of all that you do, if you choose to live your lives at that intersection between technology and the people it serves, if you strive to create the best, give the best, do the best for everyone, not just for some, then today, all of humanity has good cause for hope.
When we can learn from people who have achieved great level of success, and the phrase stand on shoulders giant. So for example, you've just watched a series of what make this person great. Now, if you adopt these same behaviors, some may work for you, some may not. But the series and other videos that we share will hopefully help you achieve levels of greatness in your life. Adopting behaviors that successful people do will only help you out achieve more. You can take some and you can drop some. You don't have to do them all. Some may work for you, some may not. So hopefully you learn from these behaviors, you start adapting some to your life. I get to create a video about what makes you great in the future. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I appreciate you watching these videos. Thank you.